Akira Tendou was a boy filled with hopes and ambitions, entering his dream job, but the extremely exploitive environment shattered those hopes in no time. We all know how that feels. Now, he would give anything to not go to work. Be careful what you wish for a zombie apocalypse dawns out of nowhere, where the whole world is falling into shambles. For Akira, this couldn't be any less than a blessing. Damn, he's savage. Now it's time for him to fulfill his every wish before he eventually falls prey to the zombies and joins their midst. The story begins as a man dashes through the desolate streets of a city where towering skyscrapers crumble and chaos reigns. The skyline is ablaze, casting an eerie glow upon the ruins that surround him. A torrent of lifeless bodies cascades from the heavens like rainfall, urging him to flee from his harrowing predicament. The relentless presence of zombies looms everywhere, and he desperately runs to elude their pursuit. Unbeknownst to him, this gripping scene unfolds on a computer, playing as part of a movie or show that captures Akira's attention. Sipping his noodle soup, Akira's tired eyes, burdened by noticeable bags beneath them, remain fixed on the captivating display. His frustration with the weight of his workplace responsibilities is evident as he gazes at his staff card and mutters to himself, contemplating that a zombie apocalypse would be preferable to his current situation. Glancing at his phone, he notices the late hour, far past 3 a.m., realizing that he must sleep to face yet another day at work. The thought irritates him, and the grotesque zombies on the screen amplify the drama of his own circumstances. Overwhelmed by the desire to escape his routine, he succumbs to exhaustion and collapses. The predicament he finds himself in today traces back 3 years when he eagerly stepped into the realm of the production department. Brimming with enthusiasm and vitality, he embraced the prospect of embarking on this new job. His first day unfurled with a sense of elation as he basked in the atmosphere of warmth where smiles greeted him at every turn. Oblivious to the labyrinth path that awaited him, he simply reveled in the fact that he had secured his dream job. Nothing else seemed to matter at the time. Amidst his exuberance, fate intervened when he inadvertently collided with a colleague, Soreio. In that fleeting moment, as they scrambled to gather her fallen belongings, a wave of enchantment washed over him. Like a scene out of a romantic movie, he found himself captivated by her loveliness. Soreio's striking beauty and genuine kindness swept him off his feet, leaving an indelible impression. She went a step further, extending an open invitation for him to seek her assistance whenever he needed it. Suffice it to say, he was utterly smitten by her endearing charm. Later that evening, he joined his newfound work colleagues for a dinner outing, where their warm reception continued to embrace him. Throughout the meal, he surreptitiously stole glances at Otori, silently vowing to exert himself and leaving a lasting impression on her. The evening progressed, and it seemed like a typical scenario where everyone would bid their farewells, return home, and reconvene for work the following day. However, reality diverged from this expected routine. As if entranced, his colleagues abruptly rose from their seats and, without explanation, gravitated back to the office, resuming their work as though driven by an invisible force. Bewildered and struggling to comprehend the situation, Akira found himself pulled into an unplanned all-nighter on his very first day. He eventually succumbed to sleep in the office, continuing his toil upon waking. It wasn't until 2 days had elapsed that he managed to return home, depleted of energy and utterly drained. Just before succumbing to exhaustion on his bed that night, he had an epiphany, an unsettling realization that he had unwittingly become ensnared in one of the most exploitative corporations imaginable. The following morning, a piercing alarm jolted him awake at 6 a.m. As he rose from his bed, a disquieting thought crept into his mind. How long would he be distanced from the comforts of home? In that moment, an overwhelming reluctance to step foot in the office gripped him, yet he realized he needed to cease his complaints and regain his bearings. After all, he had consciously chosen this career and diligently worked to earn the staff card that now adorned his attire. Upon arriving at the office, he discovered that the situation wasn't entirely dire. They did receive a limited number of paid annual leaves, and the work environment itself fostered cooperation. However, he hadn't intended for such conditions to be taken so literally. Witnessing his colleagues toil for up to 200 hours of unpaid overtime, enduring various health issues stemming from unhealthy work habits, he found solace in the fact that they were all united in their shared struggle. As he entered his second year at the company, he continued sacrificing his lunch breaks and barely found time to return home. Each night, he longed to catch a train back, yearning for a warm shower and the solace of his own bed. However, his hopes were dashed when his superior informed them of another night shift on the horizon. Amidst this tumultuous period, Otori had remained a source of kindness, occasionally bringing him food to sustain his sanity. Nevertheless, he struggled to come to terms with the unsettling reality that she was entangled as the CEO's mistress at his beck and call throughout the day. Occasionally, Akira would find himself pondering the reasons behind his continued tenure at the company. Despite the countless challenges he faced, one lingering thought prevented him from resigning: the knowledge that his departure would burden his teammates with his unfinished tasks. Additionally, there was no guarantee that joining another company would provide better working conditions than his current predicament. As he entered his third year, the overwhelming burden of overwork began to consume him, pushing him to question if ceasing to exist altogether would liberate him from the shackles of his job. Despite reaching a point of exhaustion where he resembled a mere shell of his former self, he persisted, remaining steadfast in his determination, even if he seemed like nothing more than a living, breathing zombie. In the present day, Akira awakens with an overwhelming reluctance to return to his workplace. As he steps out of his apartment, his attention is drawn to a notice on his doorstep, reminding him of his outstanding bike space charges. Determined to address the matter, he heads towards the dwelling of his building's manager. However, an unsettling sight interrupts his path. A slightly ajar door piques his curiosity, compelling him to investigate further. Stepping inside, he is confronted by a chilling scene. A man perched atop another individual, seemingly human but in reality feasting upon the lifeblood of his helpless victim. It takes a full minute for Akira to grasp the horrifying reality before him: a real zombie. As panic grips him, Akira instinctively turns to flee, only to lock eyes with the ravenous creature, which immediately gives chase. Racing through the dilapidated corridors of the building, he realizes with a sinking feeling that he is not alone in his pursuit. A massive horde of zombies emerges, hot on his heels as the once familiar structure crumbles around him. The unmistakable stench of blood permeates every corner, a testament to the gruesome fate that has befallen the place. A sudden shift occurs within Akira's perception as the world around him blossoms with vibrant colors. Previously trapped in a monochrome existence, he now witnesses a rich tapestry of hues. As he races for survival, an unexpected sensation of happiness and warmth burgeons within his chest. The realization dawns upon him: he's no longer bound by the obligation to go to work due to the ongoing zombie apocalypse. This newfound revelation ignites a profound sense of hope and elation. Despite the imminent danger posed by the relentless pursuit of the zombies, a peculiar transformation takes place within Akira's mindset. Rather than succumbing to fear, he perceives the chase as a thrilling game, as if he has been thrust into the midst of a movie. The adrenaline coursing through his veins fuels a sense of exhilaration, encapsulating the essence of a surreal adventure. With determined steps, he continues his frantic sprint until he reaches the rooftop of his apartment complex. As he gazes down, he finds solace in the fact that the large rail impedes the relentless advance of the pursuing zombies. For the first time in what feels like an eternity, he contemplates how to spend his day exploring the myriad possibilities that lie ahead. The desires he had suppressed for so long now flood his mind. Perhaps he could utilize his time off to obtain a motorcycle license or embark on an adventure to Yakushima. The idea of skydiving also entices him, as does the prospect of indulging in a day of leisurely movie marathons accompanied by a drink or two. His mind teems with a multitude of aspirations, yet he struggles to decide which path to pursue. Suddenly, thoughts of Otori seize his attention, and concerns for her well-being flood his thoughts. Regardless of her relationship with the CEO, his feelings for her are undeniably profound. He resolves that he would rather face the onslaught of zombies than live with the regret of suppressing his emotions. Energized by this resolve, he rises to his feet, inhaling the invigorating air surrounding him. Seizing a bicycle, he rides through the city at full speed, oblivious to the lurking zombies and the danger they pose. Through the midst of blood and scattered bodies, he perseveres, driven by an unparalleled enthusiasm to find Otori and reconnect with her. Every towering structure in the city, including its grandest edifices and skyscrapers, engulfs in flames, spewing smoke into the darkened sky. The once bustling roads now lie devoid of any traffic. Instead, they are stained with blood and strewn with lifeless bodies, predominantly occupied by hordes of zombies. It appears as though the relentless undead have infiltrated every nook and cranny of the city, permeating each shop, street, district, and location with their ghastly presence. The once vibrant city stands as a haunting reflection of its former glory under the relentless grip of a zombie apocalypse. Streets that once bustled with life are now eerie, with abandoned vehicles strewn about and shattered glass crunching beneath the weight of decaying footsteps. Buildings that once stand tall and proud now bear the scars of battle, their facades marred with broken windows and graffiti that tells tales of desperate survivors. The air carries a putrid stench, a mixture of decay and desperation, as plumes of smoke rise from burning structures, casting an ominous haze over the landscape. A deafening silence hangs in the air, interrupted only by the occasional groan or distant howl, serving as a constant reminder of the lurking dangers. Amongst the desolation, remnants of humanity fight for survival, navigating the treacherous terrain, their eyes filled with equal parts fear and determination. It is a city caught in a perpetual state of twilight, where darkness and danger await at every turn and hope clings to the hearts of those who dare to defy the encroaching darkness. Silently and cautiously, he navigates through the perilous streets, carefully concealing himself from the lurking zombies. Against all odds, he locates Otori's apartment and arrives at the doorstep. Yet, a sudden wave of doubt washes over him, causing his confidence to waver. He contemplates the decision to come this far, fearing that his presence might be perceived as intrusive or unwelcome. However, he reminds himself that this visit serves as a safety check during this dire emergency, emboldening him to gather the courage to ring the doorbell. An eerie silence follows as he waits, but no response greets him. In a serendipitous turn, he discovers that the doorknob is unlocked, prompting him to slowly push the door open and enter. To his astonishment, he finds the CEO standing before him, but something is amiss. The CEO's demeanor is distorted, as if undergoing a gradual transformation into a zombie. Undeterred, Akira extends a greeting and musters the bravery to announce his decision to quit, expressing gratitude for the CEO's mentorship despite his initial shortcomings. However, as he speaks, the CEO's zombie-like state becomes more pronounced. In a swift moment, Akira delivers a rugby tackle, propelling the CEO out of the building. Turning his attention to finding Otori, he spots her nearby, but his heart sinks as he realizes she has fallen victim to a zombie bite. Helplessly, he watches as she undergoes a chilling metamorphosis before his eyes. Tears stream down his face as he musters the strength to confess his long-held love for her, revealing that his feelings had taken root since their very first day at work. With a heavy heart, he bids her a tearful farewell, knowing that their paths can never intertwine. Later, amidst the stillness of a nocturnal mart, a realization dawns on Akira. Time is slipping away, leaving him with an overwhelming sense of urgency. In response, he ventures inside, procuring a notebook and a pen, and fervently composes a list of 100 things he desires to experience before succumbing to his own zombified fate. And on this cliffhanger, our recap for today comes to an end. Ah, what a story. What would your first 3 items be on your to-do list in case of a zombie apocalypse? With that said, if you enjoyed our video as much as we did making it for you, drop us a like and subscribe to Anime Soreio for more awesome animes like this recapped on your feed. As always, thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one. Peace!